Hello and welcome to the latest Epic Universe construction update. It's been a few weeks since we've taken a tour of the Epic Universe construction site since I've been doing more frequent videos on this channel, but I am excited to get into it today because there's a lot of progress to check out as we're approaching what I believe is 6 to 8 months away from Epic Universe opening.
Really?
But before we jump into the update, for those that are somehow unaware, Epic Universe is a brand new theme park coming to Universal Studios Florida. Epic Universe is located just 2 miles south of Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in Orlando, Florida. And this new park will include brand new lands themed to How to Train Your Dragon, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Universal Monsters, and my personal favorite, Super Nintendo World. And there is a lot to check out, so let's not waste any time. And as usual, let's start our update off by heading over into the Dark Universe. Over the entrance portal to the Dark Universe, we can see scaffolding is back up for some more theming work. We can also see at 1 theming in progress for the portal ring, including a spherical element at the top. And at 2 is a roofing in progress on an octagon structure, which is also a similar structure that we've seen at the exit over there in the Harry Potter land. And here we can see gravestones and monuments lining the entrance walkway of Dark Universe. And the arrows in this photo show entrance and exit walkways of coming in and out of the Dark Universe. And walkways currently are covered with protective plywood as construction on the walkways continues. And here's a great view of the broken stone arch at the entrance of Darkmoor Village that will welcome guests as they enter the land. And here in Darkmoor Village, we can see where Das Steakhouse, which is a vampire-themed restaurant, is going to be located. And in this view, we can get a great look at theming elements in the land as work on this land is quickly finishing up. And here are some great shots at the theming progress over at the Frankenstein Manor, which is also known as the Dark Manor, over here in Dark Universe. And there are many theming details that have been recently added to the roof lines as well. Over at the DeLacy's Cottage, which is a small building next to the Dark Manor, we can get a good look at what the final theming will likely look like for many parts of the Dark Universe, as this building all but looks finished with its theming and exterior work. The extended queue for the Dark Manor, or also known as Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment looks to be all but complete, as we've seen the progress of this happen over the last few updates. And we are now at the point we are getting signage coming up all throughout the park, and here we have a sign that is now up for the Burning Blade Tavern. And at the Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster, we can see theming work on the roofs in this area looks to be complete as well. And looking a little closer at the wagons in the queue entrance for the Curse of the Werewolf, we can see the wagon at the left has a werewolf figure for the attraction's entrance sign. Well, that's going to do it over here for the Dark Universe. Let's head over into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, to check out the progress in this land. Over at the entrance portal, we can see some recent work as some winding concrete walls are now on the backside of what is going to be called Meteor Astropub. And it also seems like all the trees have been planted inside the portal that are going to be planted as well. And in this view, we can see a tent that will be the entrance of the theater attraction in the land now has a red covering on it. And backing out a little bit, we can see the exit from the theater through the facade at the Arrow. We can see here that scaffolding has been added to complete the theming of the Port Saint Denis. I think I got that right that time. And at the Arrow, an octagon structure at the exit now has roofing being done to it. And here is a look at a butterbeer billboard above the full-size streets of Paris that is in French. And here we can see a street ends and a billboard is at the top right in this picture. We can see also where trees will be planted here as well. And here in these photos, we can get some great looks at the themed facades that are all throughout this land. Looking here at a city street, it's believed that the entrance to the featured attraction, which is a Ministry of Magic based ride, rumored to be an elevator styled attraction, is through the scaffolding facade at the right. Now, the Preview Center concept model shows a tall statue in this area at the center also. That's about all there is to check out in the Wizarding World, so let's head over into Super Nintendo World to check out a lot of the progress we can see here in the Mushroom Kingdom and over in Donkey Kong Country. Not much has changed at the entrance portal to the land, but there are a lot more trees in this area, much like the rest of the park, since our last visit. And in the Mushroom Kingdom, we can see a recently added Yoshi's Adventure sign has been installed. So again, we are seeing signage go up all throughout this land on various attractions, restaurants, and other type of establishments. And here we have theming being currently added to the final scene of Yoshi's Adventure. And if you look on both sides of this shot, you can see where it looks like you're going in and out of a large pipe. And looking at the land from a wide view, we can see the busyness and vibrance that this land will have is starting to really emerge. And many of the pieces in this land will be moving. So it'll be like you're stepping into a video game, as much of this land will be kinetic and moving at all times. And here is the current progress at Bowser's Fortress, which is also the Mario Kart attraction entrance. And over at Peach's Castle, we can see recent additions here are some stone theming at the stairs. But on Peach's Castle itself, it doesn't seem like there's been a lot of progress on the castle itself. Heading over into Donkey Kong Country, we have a great look at a car in a brake run doing some ride testing on Minecart Madness. And near the splashdown area of Minecart Madness, we can see the theming progress on the rock work here that looks to be complete. And we can also see another cart that is on a test run here. And again, here are some more great shots of different mine carts that are on the ride. And in this wide shot here is the overall progress currently in Donkey Kong Country as a whole. And finally, we have Funky's Plane, which has emerged in the land, which will be Funky's Flying By, which will be a place where you can get merchandise, souvenirs, things like that. We can also see front and back photos of work on the character face that will sit atop of the waterfall here on Minecart Madness. And we can see in the concept art what it will look like once it's completed. And here we can see progress on 2 kiosks that are in the land near Minecart Madness. And here we have a great look at a part of the ride where the coaster jumps over an obstacle. And if you're unfamiliar with this ride, the cart is actually running on a side track, so you never lose contact with the track, but it does give the illusion that you'll be jumping over gaps in the track like you did in the Donkey Kong Country video game. All right, that's it for Super Nintendo World, so let's head over into the Isle of Berk to check out the progress over in the How to Train Your Dragon land. At the entrance of the land, we can see work at the portal is ongoing. An orange sphere is at the top of the portal ring, and there may be a water feature in development here also. And on the back side of the entrance portal, we can see the rock work is probably completed here, and tall trees at the left here hide a view of a restaurant kitchen that is in Celestial Park. We can see the throne at the top of the themed grandstands here on Dragon Racer's Rally. And there really isn't much else to check out in terms of Dragon Racer's Rally as the grandstands are coming along, but the ride itself, not much progress has been made there. Now over in the queue for Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which is the main roller coaster in the land, we can see rock work for spires and frames along a wall separating the queue from Dragon Racer's Rally, and shrubs have been added to this area as well. And at the main station of Hiccup's Wing Gliders, we can see at 1, recently added rock work in the queue. At 2 is recently added frame for tinting over the queue. At 3, we have a recently completed roof with 2 peaks that are in progress. At 4, we have recently added trees. And at 5, we have recently added framing. At the right side of this picture is the entrance building for Hiccup's Wing Gliders. At the left is the exit gift shop with scaffolding to theme the exterior. And here is Hiccup's Wing Gliders after the first launch, and the Dragon Wing style safety netting will be near the tinting of the queue, as you can see the frames at the right, which will be a tint that will help keep guests waiting in the queue in some shade, which living in Florida, I can definitely tell you is much appreciated.
It's too hot.
And here we have a great view of the coaster trains for Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which we haven't really had a great look at much before, and it's kind of cool to see those. And here's the current status of the bay in the land with the pair of tall statues that will be in water at the front of the land entrance. Now this will be the first thing guests see when entering the land, which is much like how the movies start with a similar pair of statues as well. Along with the bay and Hiccup's Wing Gliders, we can also see at the right is the Viking Training Camp, which is a kids play area. Now the Viking Training Camp is at the second launch of Hiccup's Wing Gliders and has made a lot of progress since our last visit over here. Looking closer at the Viking Training Camp, we can see lots of dragon eggs are in this rocky canyon area. We can also see there is progress on lots of dragon houses perched all throughout the land here, as well as Gothy's hut at the top of the mountain, which is above Mead Hall, which is one of the dining options here in Isle of Berk. And at the base of the mountain, which is Mead Hall, we can see theming work is coming along and is looking great and almost completed. And here we can see current progress on Spitfire Grill, now has protective coverings all over recently cast concrete on the ground, and the cleared area at the bottom will be the seating area for the restaurant. And here we can see the current progress on the Untrainable Dragon Theater, and we can also compare that to the Epic Universe Preview Center concept model to see what it will look like once it is completed. And over in the boat ride in the land called Fire Drill, which is a very family-friendly attraction, that the water has been drained from the ride. You can also see the queue is the tree-filled area in the lower left that will also have tinting over it as well. And again, I do appreciate that. And here we have a great look at the loading and unloading station of Fire Drill right here. And here we have a staging area for the themed targets that will be in Fire Drill, as when you are on these boats, you will be shooting at various targets with water cannons. And there are also a few wooden platforms that have been recently added to the route as well. All right, that's about here over in the Isle of Berk. So let's head over into Celestial Park to see what progress we can see in the middle part of Epic Universe. Here we can see some of the rock work near Constellation Carousel, and nearby is also a retaining wall of dense foam. Painting work on the outside seems to be complete, and honestly speaking, looks just like the concept art. And here we can see a colorful roof panel being positioned and being installed on Constellation Carousel. At Constellation Carousel, we can see the park's splash pad area has a colorful patterned concrete area as well at the upper left, and concrete forms for colorful patterns are in progress also here at the left for the carousel entrance. And here is a closer look at that splash pad area as well. And at the top of Constellation Carousel, we can see there is some blue sky theming that has been recently added. And near the fountain in Celestial Park, we have a colorful patterned concrete recently cast between a rocky cascade of water into the show fountain. And of course, this is in front of the Helios Grand Hotel. And this is a great view of the cascading water features that are at the base of the Helios Grand Hotel. And the in-park hotel, which is the Helios Grand Hotel, is making some great progress. And here in this view at the left is the progress on the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant. And here's another look at the current progress of the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant that of course is at the base of the Helios Grand Hotel. And here are a few shots of the current progress of Helios we can check out. And in this look at the copper-colored roof features of Helios, we can see a lounge is under the large dome and a top-floor ballroom is at the left. And here's a great look at the arrival side of Helios, and we can also see in this closer view at 1, the Port Cochere has a concave curved roof line. At 2 is the resort bus shelters for City Walk and Volcano Bay. At 3 is the exclusive Helios Grand Hotel guest parking garage. And at 4 is the pool and outdoor recreation construction. And speaking of the pool and recreation, here's the current progress on the pool construction over here at Helios Grand Hotel. And here near the pool is what is likely going to be a cabana area and an outdoor recreation area over here. And we recently talked about 2 new buildings that were going up in Celestial Park. Well, it turns out that these are 2 restaurants that are going to be in Celestial Park. And here is the current construction progress on those. And here we can see the progress on various cascading water features in Celestial Park is coming along very nicely as well. At the top is the Luna Overlook, offering entering guests a grand view through the park. The rockwork is being sculpted along the streams of this water feature and at the basin at the bottom. And in a great shot here, we can see the current status of the Atlantic restaurant and the water features surrounding it. And also, when we look at the model over in the Epic Universe Preview Center, we can see what this will look like once it's completed. And here, just to see what the progress over here at Stardust Racers, formerly known as Starfall Racers, here are some pictures of the current progress over here, but there's really nothing to point out since the last update, but this is a very highly anticipated attraction, but it is, again, making some progress, but not a lot here to note. And heading into the entrance area of Epic Universe, we can see a ton of progress here, including the addition of a lot of trees. I mean, it seems like there is a forest that has popped up overnight around here. At the entrance Kronos, we have the Epic Universe logo installed and looking just like the concept art yet again. And we have a palm tree recently placed in the admission sales section of the Epic Universe entrance plaza. And the last area we will check out are the pair of hotels that will sit just outside Epic Universe, the Stella Nova and Terra Luna resorts. And here we can see the current status of the Stella Nova, and we can see the addition of the pattern roadway and traffic circle here. And here at the Terra Luna Resort, we can see the current installation of the colorful reflective tiles on this resort. And it also has a pattern traffic circle in here as well. And over at Stella Nova, we can see the progress on the pool area here with a lot of trees being put in there. And also we can compare that over here to the Terra Luna pool resort area in its progress. All right, that is going to do it for this Epic Universe construction update. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel as we do lots of coverage over here of Universal Studios Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture news. And if you're looking for more tips and tricks when it comes to Universal Studios and or Disney World, be sure to check out the Capture the Magic podcast, which you can find here on YouTube at CTM Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find it on there as well. And on that show, you can find where we share tips, reviews, money-saving strategies, and more. I said at the beginning of this video that I think we're between 6 to 8 months before this park opens. And I'm just curious, what is your best guess at when Epic Universe is going to open? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.